right. Testing 1, 2, 3. Y'all hear me out there? Sweet. All right. Well, I am not Eskimo, but I'm helping out a little bit. I don't know how much of an introduction the man, the myth, the legend really needs. He brought us Varo. He brought us HNS Chat. He brings us some of the best zingers in Handshake. He made a hell of a prediction on the price after the halving, and he brought us Shakestation, which is for those of you that don't know, effectively another platform that you can buy, sell Handshake names. You can bid on Handshake names. There was a tool to claim your name as well. I don't know how relevant that is post happening. Maybe Jordan can tell us. And this tool came out just shortly after the last HandyCon, which I think. So I posted a couple videos back in the day. I was very excited. I posted the first listing. It got bought up. I don't know where that emoji is, but I hope you found a new good home. And we're just going to do a quick demo here. I think it's a good opportunity to show Shakestation out a little bit. Give people a chance to talk to Jordan, Eskimo, and yeah, hopefully use it more. It's a great tool, and it has a lot to offer. Please throw QA in the chat as you're thinking. Whatever comes up, it'll be useful for us to kind of stay organized toward the end. We only got 20 minutes, so I'm going to share my screen, which I guess I should be able to do. Cool. So I'm already logged in to Shakestation. First thing you're going to notice, this is not name-based. We got dark mode for sure. I think it looks pretty sweet. The design, the logo is very cool. This isn't Eskimo's first logo. By the way, I do recommend hopping into his Discord if you get a chance. You can do a lot of the same functionality you might be familiar with in name-based. You're going to have a portfolio, right? That's going to be your names. They could be for sale. They could be not for sale. Then you can receive offers. You can make offers, transfers, bids, auctions, marketplace. I feel like this crowd is pretty familiar with those features. You could also hold a huge bag of Handshake like I do right here, 392. What do we want to know? Well, Johnny's back on Shakestation. You may remember him from Namebase. And he's giving you just a quick demo on how to place a bid, which I think is useful. Definitely check that out if you get a second. And here's a summary of what Shakestation offers. Right, all jokes aside, I know that Handshake's a smaller world, but competition is helpful, and that's what we're. Just want to make sure. Is everyone seeing the screen and everything? Okay, cool. Jordan, come off mute or something because I can't see it and present. All right. So what does Shakestation offer? Right. It's offering, first of all, just an alternative, which I think is exciting. It has a minimalistic design. It didn't take me long to use it, and I am pretty much 0%, maybe 1% technical. We got dark mode. I think that matters more than some people will give it credit for right off the bat. Free SLDs, right? So second level domains. Deposit methods. So you can deposit through an SLD, right, which is like an identifier inside of Shakestation, or through a wallet address, right? So you can send some funds over. You can send them from Bob Wallet. You can send them from Namebase. I've sent things from Namebase straight over to Shakestation. HIP2 support, right? So for transfers and withdrawals. I'm not going to go too into detail because I'm not that aware of every detail regarding HIP2. I'll have to learn. That's one of the things I have noted. You can bid on any available names, right? So again, we're not here to just something to make a note of, right? During the happening, some names were restricted on Namebase. That was a decision that they made, and they weren't restricted on Shakestation. So if you wanted to have access to it, this was a good alternative. Again, just more competition. The claim fees. Are 1%. The renewal fees are less, right? Rather than 10 Handshake, it's literally 1% of that, which could be important if you're managing a lot of domain names and this resonates with you and you don't want to have them in self custody. This is a good place to renew them. TLD transfers are free, which is the same thing we do in Namebase, right? Just gifting them to each other. We can do that. And withdrawal fees are HNS withdrawal fees internally are also free. Let's see. On-chain transactions are a little bit less, right? So this, as I understand it, is probably the bid transaction, if I'm not wrong. We can have Jordan correct me in a second. And the seller fee is less, right? So again, if you have a batch of TLDs, you're flipping TLDs, and you're trying to keep as much value as you can, right? Then you're going to be charged less on Shakestation. That's going to come with a trade-off of realistically a smaller audience, but the reality is that you can save 9%, and on some of these names, like we're going to see tomorrow during the auction, that can be quite a bit. That's a little bit of a summary. I mean, in terms of what it looks like, again, it's a lot like what you may be familiar with if you haven't played around with it. How does bidding look? So you can see, this name is, you understand this name still is not in circulation. You can place a bid, you can place a blind, very similar functionality to what we're already used to. I think that's enough of a visual. I'm going to go ahead and stop presenting. Do we have any questions right off the bat? There is a link. Will Shakestation send out notifications when HNS names are up for renewal? Also, Shakestation auto renew names. We're going to have to find out from the source himself here in just a second. There is something I will note that there can be a benefit to using a smaller platform that I experienced firsthand, which was I had a question, I had somebody to contact, I had an answer, and Jordan even went ahead and made changes, from one day to the next, to sometimes 1 hour to the next. So are we going to be getting email notifications when names are up for renewal? And does Shakestation auto renew them? Jordan, can you let us know?
Okay, so renewal-wise, everything is set to auto-renew. Obviously, we wouldn't really have to worry about that for 2 years, which is still, I guess, another year away. And for most people just getting into Shakestation.
I think I'm losing his audio a little bit.
Definitely not going to be 10 Handshake. It'll probably be like 0.1.
I'm losing his audio a little bit.
Oh, you can't hear me?
There's just a delay. I'll go on mute.
Okay. Yeah, so it'll just be like the 0.1 Handshake for renewals.
And that's a good point. When you come off, when you transfer a name out of Namebase to renew it, that is part of the process. So you get a freshly renewed name that goes to wherever it's going, whether that's Bob Wallet or to Shakestation. So if you're moving names onto there, or if you're winning them in auctions, you do have quite a while before expiration would realistically be a concern. But I think that renewals in general are going to be important for the whole space, and so it will need to be addressed. I think emails make sense for something like this.
Yeah, it can definitely do it. Just haven't had a need for it yet because renewals are so far away.
Got it. Anything I didn't cover that you want to highlight before we start hitting you with more questions?
No, I mean you covered the bulk of it. Yeah.
All right. Something that came to mind for me, and maybe it'll make sense, to some others, is that you have rolled out a few different pieces of technology that embrace Handshake, and now you have like this kind of what seems like a very good home for a lot of it. Are there plans to expand it, make other iterations, or maybe add features into it, something along those lines? Maybe like HNS, you log in and HNS chat is a feature or a function of Shakestation, or vice versa.
Yeah, I mean anything's possible. I'm always doing something, so yeah. I mean, if people have recommendations, I always take it into consideration. Most of the time, I'll do it. So
awesome, and that's something I've taken full advantage of. Like I always say this to people. I don't work in the blockchain space on my day to day, and people ask me, why I'm so obsessed with it. I go, listen, I go to conferences, virtual ones, in-person ones, or I hop on Twitter and I have the opportunity to talk to the people that are actually building the technology I'm using. In this case, it's a one-man show. Even Namebase might be like a 10-man show, but like this is something that's really cool. And if you're ever curious, you shouldn't be waiting until HandyCon to get in touch. This is that I think I did the bulk of my learning this summer, and it was just through DMs. Jordan's very gracious with his time. So just something I'm throwing out there. Looks like we have another QA. Open this up. Can you make a more streamlined method for us to bulk transfer names from Namebase to Shakestation that is more user-friendly? I feel like a lot of people would benefit from this around this time. It's a hell of a question.
So I wanted to make something like super user-friendly. Like I have, I have like the local in-browser tool, Certi, for like generating SSL certs, and I wanted to like make something that could then connect to Namebase and transfer all your names. The problem is how hard it is to get your like your two-factor secret, depending on what password manager or whatever you're using. Like if you're using Authy, it's like you have to like spin it up into like developer mode and do shit in JavaScript console to like get that key out. But if you're using like 1Password, you can simply just copy and paste the secret. So like it really depends on how tech savvy you are. But I do have something on GitHub. You can go github.com/Eskimo/NB transfer. It's a little bit more advanced though. And unless Namebase makes changes, there's no way that I can make it any more user-friendly.
Understood. And I think this question sparks something. I'm not that technical. There's the tools, Namebase and the team at Namebase were super helpful in onboarding me to Handshake, and Jordan's been super helpful with Shakestation. But I shied away from self-custody. I shied away from Bob Wallet. I shied away from taking this kind of more seriously. I always figured, if they're worth something in the future, maybe I'll care more. But like, I think that is a mistake. I have gone back on that. I'm still lazy. I still need to be on top of my renewals. But really, if you have names somewhere and you don't, regardless of where it is, and you don't feel like you understand all aspects of it, this is a time and an opportunity to try to while things are relatively quiet, to try to master what custody is, even if it's one name at a time, or if you have to learn, if it's bulk. This is the time to do it, not when the rush really hits or when the clock is ticking against your renewals. That's when things are going to get tough. Just a user opinion no one asked for there. All right, fantastic. Do we have any any other questions? While we have some time, I think that we could open it up about Shakestation, but also maybe just kidding, we have 1 minute. So whoever wants to round us out, this would be the chance. Okay, I'm reading this. Yeah. I've used it relatively user-friendly. I've used it on mobile. If you are bidding, if you're big on auctions, I would A/B test the two platforms, or the three if you're including Bob Wallet on that. I think that the timing of bids getting into blocks and the efficiency there are discrepancies. We learned that during the happening. So I encourage everybody to test it out and to join Jordan's Discord. Or if you need a link for that, you can always contact me on X, Twitter, whatever.
Yeah, the link to the Discord is right at the bottom of the homepage. As long as as well as the Twitter too.
Oh, you mean you thought of that one too? Interesting. Okay, you don't say. All right, good, fantastic. I am going to wrap this session up. I'm also wrapping up my version of day 2 HandyCon. It's been very fun. Stick around. We'll see everybody tomorrow. Thank you very much, Jordan, for the time, everything you do for the community. Remember to hype up your devs, guys. They're helping pave the way for the rest of us. All right.